Now we have Dr. Chinedu Uguna. He will be in monkeypox, like what people now fondly call pox. Good morning.
Good morning.
You obviously you're not just hearing it from us, monkeypox first. So how do you differentiate Mpox from similar viral diseases like smallpox, chickenpox, and all the pox?
All right. Cpoxes, yeah. The truth is, the Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, is if an infection mainly of the primates and rodents is normally animal infection, but as it mutates, it finds its way. Ordinarily, we will refer to them as zoonotic diseases. So, and then it's a virus called monkeypox virus. This, it has the nearest cousin it has in the poxes is the small, because as you speak today, the vaccine against smallpox still effective against monkeypox. But the truth remains that it has high the effectivity rate is very high, and we all be at alert and make sure that it doesn't spread as it does now. As we are talking now, the WHO has already placed it at a highest alert so far it can, because it is termed as global public health importance, a global health emergency. So, sincerely speaking, we should join force to make sure that it doesn't get spread more than it does now.
Okay, so what are the primary symptoms and mode of transmission of monkeypox?
Right. The first thing is rash that comes on. This rash comes with into blisters, and there are some lesions around this rash. And then there's, when I say lesion, you can say wound. In some, just like have some wounds there, and it has blisters, it has fluid-like content that spread and continue to spread over other people that has the same infection. There is a fever that has flu-like symptoms. That's only a headache, severe headache. The person comes down with a lot of muscle pains. You have so much back pain. So it really disheartening. The person will now have weakness, lethargy, and then you now see that person, easy fatigability. These are typical of monkeypox infection.
How is it transmitted? If I wave hand at someone, will I catch it? Or is it by kissing or by hugging or or by contact with food or something?
The truth is just like I'll take it in three. It have three or four means, but all depends on contact. The first one, you can have it from human to human. In that human to human is purely a skin close contact with the person who has this infection, especially through sexual intercourse, sexual transmission. Then the contact with skin to skin, through kissing, you can have it. Having sex with somebody who has lesion or rashes, you are probably had to come down with it. So you try as much as possible to avoid that. Then second one is from animal to man. The contact with animals that have this lesion, have this infection, you are most likely to come down with it. You are playing with them, you are eating such animal, the meat from such animal that is not properly and wonderfully cooked, you are most likely going to have it. And people who are at risk of this are the hunters, people who go and hunt animals. You can get there, and then this monkeypox has made these animals, remember we're talking about the monkeypox normally affect rodents. In rodents, we talk about rats, all the mouse, all the rodents family. Then primates, we talk about monkeys, apes, all the primates family. So if you happen to see such an infected animal and you feel that it's an easy hunt, and you collect the animal and go without knowing that the weakness that the animal had made it an easy prey for you to catch, was as a result of an infection, you are likely to contact the illness. If you do that, then if they bring that back home to people who cook the bush meats, then the people who are preparing these bush meats, once they touch these secretions from this animal, they are likely to get affected from this illness if they didn't do have a lot of precaution in doing that.
I'm curious though. Did you say it's sexually transmitted?
Purely yes.
Monkeypox is sexually transmitted.
Take it to bank. Yes, and yes, and yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
But
But is it from monkey itself? Is it from monkey itself? Why is it called monkeypox?
I said before now, well, it's a disease of the monkeys. It was first found among the monkey population in Denmark in 1958. This set of monkeys were monkeys that were kept in Denmark for research purposes. And the first disease was seen in them.
Okay.
So, and there has been a disease of these animals. But back then, the first one that we had in Nigeria around 2010 to 2014 that was genomically transmitted from animal to human was in Aba and Rivers States. So since then, you now have the disease that can be transmitted from man to man, from animal to man, from within the animal species. Then you can equally have this if you come in contact with first surfaces the sick person, the sick animal has, treaded on. If you wear the clothes somebody who has this disease you are likely to come down with it. If you had a hug with him for sometimes close skin contact, most especially with the ones that have the lesions, the Igbos will say onya, so those that have these lesions, they can transmit it. Then if you lie on the bedspread that the person had laid on, you are most likely going to. Then touch surfaces, other pillowcases, and other things that this infected person had used. You are having a high chances of having it. It can equally be transmitted from a mother to a child through mother-to-child transmission. So these four means are typically, I'll shock you, from work done, the most vulnerable people are the gays, the men that have sex with men. If you don't, just get it on.
Really?
Yes.
How does that happen? Because I was about to ask, what was the severity of monkeypox? How does it vary across different age group population?
That's like those the neonates, that's the newborns. Yeah. They are at very high risk. The pregnant women are very high risk. People who have low immunity, that are very high risk, like people who have HIV/AIDS or taking anti-cancer drugs, that are very high risk of having that. Then, especially in those populations that are having sex, unsafe sex, they are equally at a high risk.
Okay.
Then you can now come down with people I was just like trying to mention. People like hunters that have contact with these animals. People that plays with their pets, that they are having such things. They terribly have a very good chance of having this disease.
Okay, so you did mention that people that practice gay acts are more likely to contact or, consume this. I would use the word consume or have it, Is it because is it that gays eat more of Ratus novecicus? Geekus, you understand what I mean?
No, it has to do
because
with
you mentioned the fact that Ratus
it has the contact, the skin-to-skin contact.
Okay.
The acts. If you were opposite sex, there may be lubrications that can, but that you may not have such. The severe skin-to-skin contact. And then that's predispose them more.
Right. So what about the prevention? How can individuals prevent themselves from from this monkeypox disease, and what has been the government response so far? Has it been good enough for you, and what should the government be doing? At what stage are we right now, and what should the government be doing at this time?
Let's just remind me, let me take them, because these are double-loaded questions. Let me take them one after the other. I'll start with prevention. So the prevention mode, first, internally, is very important that we opt our personal hygiene level. You should try as much as possible to wash your hands, then wash the surfaces, especially where patients that have such rashes are being, taken care of. You should equally try to avoid contact with people who have rashes. Visible rashes you can, because you don't know which one is that. You try to avoid serious direct contact with such people. You may not know where is that coming down from. You try, if you are not seeing them, immediately you finish touching, wash your hand, use alcohol-based hand sanitizers to clean up, because its research has shown that this virus are liable to, hot water with detergents. So if you wash all those spreading with hot water and detergents, you are most likely going to kill it and take it off. Then you use your hand sanitizers to clear the surfaces that such persons must have. After treating patients, for doctors and health professionals, you should wear personal protective devices to make sure that you are not getting in contact with this. These include goggles, gloves, and then having some protections over your skins. So this can help in preventing it. Again, there's availability of vaccine. It is vaccine preventable disease. Just like I have said that smallpox vaccine, because of some similarity in their genomes, that smallpox vaccine, smallpox had, by the way, had been eradicated. And to tell you what the similarity, even with layman, if you remember, if you have annoyed one old woman or one nasty young man in Igbo, what he will tell you, kitipa babuogu. The kitipa was just like the smallpox, and that kitipa has a lot of resemblance with this resurgence of monkeypox. So it's like the person has gone to the highest to tell you that you don't have any hope of surviving. So you will now try as much as possible to take care of your environment and personal hygiene. You will try to avoid contact. I said you take those vaccines. Ask me, this vaccine, 2 doses of it can, settle the matter. But then, if you have taken it before now, and in this surface of increased epidemic, you can take 1 shot. It may be enough to protect you from it. You avoid playing with animals, pets. You never know which one had it. Then try as much as possible to cook your meat very well before you eat it. This will help you to protect you against this disease.
Okay.
Now,
No, for the government.
yeah, the government, I said, remember, this wave of infection that started sometime about early January, and then the epicenter of this had been the Democratic Republic of Congo. So that's where the whole thing is happening. But as we speak here in our country, that's about last week, up to 39 cases across 33 states in Nigeria had been, notice that 39 cases has been identified, reported. And then so many states, including our dear states, has been put on health red alert. So since this wave, the Africa Center for Disease Prevention and Control had declared this monkeypox a disease of public health importance. So they have been placed on alert. Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention had also placed people at the port health and led alert to make sure that people with such symptoms will not enter the country. So the WHO, as I said, had labeled it. So the government had tried to, sensitize and then put us to be at the active surveillance level, encouraging everybody to be your own security keeper, and make sure if you see somebody with such rash near you, please try and report to the nearest health facility. If you are having such things, please don't play drought with your life. Go, let them now do their necessary tests and make sure that it is not there. Then government's other efforts that are trying to do, but I say that we should up our games. As you speak with us, you should know that what is happening in the health industry is not something that anybody can, speak good about. I mean, there are a lot of jabber that is happening. People are not being remunerated and they are not there. And anybody will tell you that if you want somebody to go to the forefront, you give them the ammunition adequate for combat against that. The personal protective devices I mentioned, I don't know how they are readily available in all our health institutions. So they should get on and then try to remunerate these health workers and make sure that they come down, reduce the rates of leaving the country so that all of us will combat the disease together here in the country. Again, they should try as much as possible to make sure that vaccine is being produced in our country. Because if we still depend on foreign aid to do that, as we are speaking, Europe has had his first case about last week. They had, I think it was in Sweden, they have a case. Pakistan has recorded a case. So it's no more an African thing. It's a global thing. So it's called for everybody to put hands on deck to make sure that we protect ourselves against this invader.
So what protocols right now, because seeing that is prevalent amongst us in the world, so what protocols are in place for the isolation and treatment of monkeypox patients, and what role can community leaders and organizations play in enhancing public awareness and preparedness for Mpox?
Right. The protocols, just like I said, once you get your notice for the Mpox symptom for anybody, you should try as possible to send it out. They said if you see something, say something. It is very paramount in this case. Once case reporting should be upped. People should be encouraged to try as much as possible to bring to the notice of the health workers the diseases available. Again, if you look at what is prevalent in those hospitals, there's an isolation protocol. You get them and then make sure that the contact with that the index person is highly reduced. People don't have person-to-person contact with them. With what they use, they should be isolated so that the transmission will be hot at a point. Again, if you look at seriously, among people who have this, there is no known treatment. There's no known treatment. Okay.
There's no known treatment for what?
For monkeypox. The thing had been that normally it may go on its own. But we will treat the symptoms that we're having at that time, waiting for it to go on its own.
But I wanted to mention, you mentioned earlier about personal hygiene, and you also mentioned something around the lines of improving your immune system. How much of that can help prevent monkeypox? Do you think if someone improves its personal hygiene and also improves its immune system booster, how do you go about boosting your immune system in order to prevent monkeypox?
Now, the personal hygiene is very apt that you will not take yourself conscious of these environments that can get it. Remember again, I equally would have want us to know practicing safe sex is equally an important avenue for preventing the disease. Now, the immune system, you eat rightly, exercise, and try to, do other things that will encourage your immunity. It will help. The monkeypox research has shown that if it happens to one person once, it's most likely that person may not contact it the next time. In cases it happened the second time, the severity will be reduced.
Okay.
But it is often than not, once you suffer from it, you will not have it.
Is it fatal?
Currently, about 500 deaths has been recorded.
Okay.
Since it broke out.
Yes, this recent one. So you will not say that such things that is not.
In Congo, it should be more, right?
Yeah, that's where the epicenter, that's where the whole thing is happening. Most of the deaths is in Congo. In Nigeria, there's no death recorded so far. Out of those 39 cases that have been reported, no death has been recorded.
Okay. All right. Dr. Chukwuna, many thanks for your time. We truly appreciate it. It's one interesting time talking to you. I don't know, every time that you come, we always have this short time to talk. I don't know whether it's the time or the fact that you tell the story so much that it's so sweet that the time really passes so fast.
I frankly don't know, but as a teacher, you try to do your job well. And they try as much as possible to make it, place it to the layman's understanding. And then you will not be found wanting doing that task. It's always a pleasure coming around to contribute my little quota. It's teaching time.
Saves 9. Thank you so much. Dr. Chukwuna right there giving us an insight into monkeypox and what you should know, the prevention and what you should be doing at this time. We're back shortly for another discussion. Do stay with us.